Hello, everyone. Love to see some people dropping in their greetings in the chat and where they're dialing in from. That is awesome. Welcome to our first webinar of the year. Save this number, the best way to acquire new SMS subscribers. My name is Lottie. I'm a Senior Director of Customer Success here at Postscript, and I have the great pleasure of being today's host. And we've got a great hour ahead. I am joined by Ash Melwani. He is the CMO and co-founder of Avi. If you aren't familiar with Avi, they are one of the most popular supplement brands in D2C. They have a product line that includes collagen, weight loss supplements, gummies, and much more. And we also have Brock Mimoser, the founder and CEO of Frostbuddy. Frostbuddy is the world's first universal can cooler. They became the third most popular thermo cooler on Amazon within 4 months of being on the marketplace. So why are we talking about acquisition today? It's February, it's the beginning of the year. And if you've been sleeping on your list growth strategies and relying on maybe just your pop-up or checkout opt-in, this is the time to really think about how can you convert people who are interested in your brand into SMS subscribers and then later on into customers. We all know that once October rolls around and the Black Friday, Cyber Monday plans are in motion, you will be very grateful that you spent the last 9 months focusing on acquisition. Before we get into the content, we've got a little bit of housekeeping. If you have any questions for Ash or Brock, drop them in the chat as we go. We will be doing our best to answer as many of those as we can in a Q&A at the end. And before I hand it over to the two of them to tell more about their stories, I'm going to throw a quick poll on the screen and learn a bit more about where we all are in our current SMS journey. Actively using it, not maximized, just getting started. We'll give a few seconds for everyone to answer live. You should be prompted with a place to vote. All right, we've got some people who are just getting started, it looks like. Great place to be here today. People who are interested in just getting started, we love that call out actively. All right, looks like we might have some challenge hitting our buttons based on the chat, but we've got some active users, some new people. Not yet maximized, lots of good stuff here. A big range, and we'll work on those polls. Second question for the group. If we still have problems with the buttons, love the participation in chat. What channel is most lucrative for your brand right now? Email. Awesome. Looks like hopefully buttons are working on this one. Ooh, email and SMS duking it out. I love to see this. Paid, social, we've got a good mix going here. All right, I'd love to see this. Pretty neck and neck with email and SMS. You are hopefully familiar, if you're familiar with Postscript, it is our goal to make SMS the #1 revenue channel. Acquisition is an important part of that. Appreciate this context. Let's get into the good stuff. Brock, I'm going to tee you up first. Tell us a bit about your brand's origin story. Give us a quick overview of how Frostbuddy came to be.
Alrighty. Yeah. So first off, thanks for having me. And so Frostbuddy started about 2.5, 3 years, coming up on 3 years ago. It's just my brother and I, older brother, that started this. Honestly, we were just sitting around one night talking about different ideas that could work. I was still in college at Indiana University, and he was still a State Farm agent. So it's not like we were full-time entrepreneurs or anything. And we were like, is there basically a can cooler for slim cans? Because like White Claws were getting really big in college, and so were Trulies. So I was like, okay, this could be a thing. And so we kind of went to Amazon to look it up like anyone else would. And there was literally like one brand, and everyone else was like cloth koozies. And so, I had some experience sourcing things, and just like I tried other businesses before that. And so, I got us a sample made. And it was kind of off to the races from there of starting with this it was actually slimkoozie.com. I didn't even know it was trademarked. But then we basically came across the idea when a normal can would not fit in our slim can, that we're like, what if we just put all these together? Because like every brand is selling one by itself. Let's just try and basically make this universal concept and see if it works. And so that's pretty much what we did. We spent like 2 or 3 months back at the drawing board, kind of prototyping and figuring it out with our supplier. And then we came out with our first version, and it literally, I had like one Facebook ad at the lake with some friends that I shot with an iPhone, and I think we sold out of 3,000 units in like 3 weeks off of just one really awful video. And so I was like, okay, we probably have something here. And so we kind of just reinvested everything from there, like expanding color lines, um, and just that kind of started the building the plane as we fly it. And it's really never stopped from there. We've made one iteration to our hero product and made it fit cup holders, made it fit 16-ounce cans. And like once we did that, I think that we were like a year in by the time we did that, and we went from like low six figures to seven figures a month very quickly. And it was just, again, learning more about Facebook ads, Google ads, Shopify, and then figuring out email, just figuring out everything there is to do with D2C and marketing. Because I think, like anyone will tell you, it's a never ending, just like learning and optimization of how can we get better and improve. And so, that's kind of where we are still at today. It's just learning everything we can, trying new things, expanding product lines, and just kind of going from there. But it's still a very small team, and we just really hammer out social media, digital marketing, and just try to make very innovative, disruptive products. I don't really like me too products.
I love that. I love the trial and error of the early days. And I'm sure many listeners can relate to the sentiment of building the plane as one is flying. There is never ending optimization and learning to do in the e-com space. So I'm sure that resonates with people. Ash, you have a slightly different journey in e-commerce, started on the agency side of the house. Tell us how you went from working with other people's brands to launching your own with Avi.
Yeah, so me and my two founders, we basically met at a startup back in like 2015. It was a supplement company. Their primary growth source was Instagram before like the algorithm changed. So if you posted, every one of your followers would see your content, and it was like the glory days of Instagram, if you guys remember. Um, and we built this brand up. Supplement company built it up to around 100 million in revenue, and we learned a lot. Right, this was at the time where Facebook ads had like just kind of become a thing, and you could like spend $1 and make 10, and it was just like, again, the golden days of marketing, right? Fast forward, things we learned a lot about building up that brand, right? And we wanted to kind of go out and do it for other brands, and we started our own boutique agency. Um, Myself, like by trade, I'm a media buyer. I've managed over 20 million in ad spend, and my other founder, one of the best graphic designers in the world, and my other founder, ops and finance, just genius. So put those three together in agency, and you can really do anything, right? And so again, kind of keeping with that trend of staying in that health and wellness space, because that's what we knew. Built up a few 7 to 8 figure brands over the next 3 4 years, and what we ended up seeing is that brands kind of only want to focus on the marketing because that's driving the growth, right? And there's not a lot of focus on like, how do we manage cash flow, how do we manage supply chain, and this and that. And as a marketing agency, like, we're not going to manage the whole business for you. And a lot of these brands grew too quickly and they couldn't support it. And so what we ended up doing is like, hey, if we're doing this for somebody else, why can't we do it for ourselves, right? And what we ended up doing at the time is we saw a gap in the market, which was the beauty market. And we took a look at collagen, something that boasts anti-aging and youthfulness, comes across as like medicinal, lackluster. And I mean, you go down like the aisle in your Walmart or like a vitamin shop, and you see like unflavored, 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 and it just doesn't look like you're supposed to be taking this or want to take it, right? So came up with the idea, let's make collagen fun, let's make it feel younger, because that is what the product is supposed to do. And we launched with 2 flavors. We came out with a fruity cereal flavor and a cinna cereal, right? So it kind of reminds you of your favorite Saturday cereals while you're watching cartoons. And we wanted to make it feel nostalgic. Um, and doing what we do best is, we put up a website, we started running ads, and we sold out in 2 weeks. And at that moment, we felt that, okay, we have something. We got more inventory, and we loaded up our 3PL with everything that we needed, and we launched a third new flavor, which was cocoa cereal. and relaunch the brand, and the rest is history. Come today, we have around 30 products. We've launched almost 20 different versions of our collagen protein, all limited edition flavors. We've built a community on Facebook, 60,000 plus members, and we haven't looked back since.
Awesome. I love that. There's some early days Avi love in the chat, which is fun to see, and definitely sort of a similar theme here and leaning into a gap in the marketplace. I want to talk about how SMS came into play for your brands. And Brock is about to make probably a few listeners jealous. Brock, you had some passive SMS collection out of the gate. Tell us more about that story.
Yeah. So when I started things, like I didn't have much background in e-commerce. Like this was my first e-commerce business. So like I would just like to say that I was dumb in every possible way. I didn't know what I didn't know. And so we were really just trying to figure out anything that we could. And obviously we're looking at what can make us some money. So that was where I was honestly just searching the Shopify app store. I literally searched that thing like the Apple app store, just seeing like what is good, and what could work for us. And so that's where I came across this SMS bump. I believe that's what it's called. And so I downloaded that. I went through basically the start, they kind of took me through like, oh, let's set up your first flows. Let's start getting subscribers. But I had no idea what SMS was at the time. Like I had just started with email, but I did not know that text marketing was a thing. And so I had set all this up, but I had no idea. And so I started collecting these subscribers, and I think it was just through purchases too. And then I apparently had also set up my abandoned cart flows, but the key is I set up like 6 of them within like 24 hours, which totally is not compliant, but it was working like no other. Because if you just start bombarding them, they do come back. And so I ended up looking up one day. I think I just got more used to it. I was like, oh, this is what SMS marketing is. So I look at the app one day and we just have like 2,500 subscribers just sitting there. And I had no idea. Like I had no clue. And I didn't know what a campaign was either. So like I go in and I'm like, okay, I think I had to like add funds to like send a message. I was like, why do I have to spend money to send a text? I don't get that. And so just ignorant Brock's going in there and I send like, I think just some sort of discount. And I just see this like massive revenue spike. And I'm like, oh my God, this could work. This thing works. And so, then that's when I think I got reached out to by, another software that actually could teach me like what the heck it is, how you should actually do it. Maybe not, get a lawsuit on your hands or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, I had 2,500 subscribers like right off the bat. And so, campaigns that we were sending were very, very effective because most of them I think all of them were purchasers already too. So, it's not like I was trying to hit people that didn't already enjoy the brand, enjoy the product. So yeah, it's kind of ignorance is bliss, right? And then now we know, now we're here.
I love that. And yes, not a compliant move, but you learned something about compliance along the way. And I love those wow moments when someone is new to SMS, just seeing it work in real time. I'm sure many can relate to that experience as well. So you started with SMS Bump, eventually made your way to Postscript. You had this high intent list of purchasers. You're seeing the value. What are you doing today to keep that list growing?
Yeah, so we do a few different strategies, in working with the Postscript Plus team to kind of just see how we can grow it. Because I saw how valuable that list was and how valuable each subscriber is. So first and foremost, we just have like most people are normal sign up, the dual sign up. Right now, I think ours is still 10% off. We test different iterations of that. Like we have a subscriber exclusive collection that we just launched today, actually. But then we've also I do it a little differently because I have a bigger audience on TikTok than anywhere else. So I'll actually, when I'm going to launch a new product, I launch it very, very far in advance. And so like with our cooler for Modelo bottles, I just started posting TikToks with it like 6 months in advance. And basically a lot of these videos went viral, I think just because it's such a funky bottle. And it was the only thing that did not fit in our can cooler. And so basically when I think we probably had like 10 million combined views on these videos, and I would just drive them to a link that was just strictly a coming soon sign up. And so that fueled a ton of list growth. And I still continue to do that today. I have a coming soon page every now and then on like new products that we'll be launching. And I'll put it literally 6 months in advance. And then another strategy that has started to work for us is kind of just utilizing giveaways more. And so what we'll do with that is try to find some like either limited edition like products or just like bigger bundles, and we'll do giveaways. And I use the app Viral Sweep, and basically what that can do is it connects with Postscript, it connects with Klaviyo, and yeah, people will sign up and they'll enter this giveaway. And what I love about this app is that on the back end, they can get extra entries for basically referring it to their friends, or for, subscribing to your YouTube, or, checking your Twitter. Like you can make them do a lot of different things for more entries. And I think the referring friends is just so powerful. So I forget how many entries we had in this, but it was a pretty crazy number. And it was a very, very profitable giveaway for us. So we've started to implement that more. I think we'll probably start to see if we can do it even more, to kind of fuel the list growth, because the more people I can get in there, it's just the more profitable we are.
Awesome. I love the idea of teasing products and getting that excitement going over TikTok, leveraging that to drive SMS subscriber growth. We did have a question in chat. For those coming soons, Brock, do you launch those to SMS only? Is it sort of mixed depending on the launch? It feels like that one live all ties in.
Yeah, so for the coming soon, basically each product that I had, and I wish we had an example screenshot. Each product would have a coming soon, and it was just the SMS sign up right below that product. And yeah, we would just send an SMS. Now, if we did, you could do dual, with email and SMS, but it was just only subscriber that I would launch very early too, because usually I'll do pretty limited runs at the beginning, just kind of as a risk, as a way to not be too risky with it in case it does flop. And so, yeah, so we're doing that. And then one one thing that we did make a mistake on the very first one is Brian, who helps me with Postscript. We sent an update text. I think it was like 6 days prior to it launching, and we had I think it was like 500 unsubscribes. And so and I think it was just, they just didn't, I don't know what it was, but we were like, okay, we probably should have just not sent an update text, honestly, because they're just waiting for the launch. And so we're like, we probably missed out on God knows how many purchases with 500 people leaving our list.
Yeah.
And yes, it was Viral Sweep was the app. I think I saw that in the chat.
Yes. We live and we learn for all of this stuff. Definitely always sort of growing. Last question before we shift a little bit, but Jim asked if you are worried about teasing so early with competitors potentially taking your ideas. I want to address that one quickly, and then we'll keep moving for now.
Yeah. So I always go on the philosophy of I'm so freaking busy that I'm not going to go steal a competitor's ideas, because I'm just focused on my own path. So I just think that competitors are thinking the same thing. Like, we're all so busy trying to execute our own ideas that if they have time to sit there and analyze what I'm about to come out with and try to do it, they can go for it, I guess. But I don't know. I'm just a firm believer that hiding my product, unless there's some major intellectual property, that's a different story. And I understand that, unless you want to get that patent pending or something like that. But for the most part, I don't genuinely care that much, because I think it's just really about the execution. And it's really about just, I'm first to the punch anyways, and I'm hitting people on TikTok and Facebook already that hey, this is coming soon from us. So if a big competitor knocks that off, I don't know, it's just never that great of a look to directly go knock off your competitor, in my opinion.
Well, both of you are innovators, and I appreciate your philosophy here. You're focused on innovating and being transparent with your community and building that hype and that exclusivity, and that's how you get the results that you've seen. Ash, shifting over to you, you obviously have a lot of experience in building lists for other brands. I'm curious, when you were working with Avi, what was your first super successful acquisition strategy?
Yeah. So one of the, I'll kind of take a step back and kind of introduce how we found SMS, right? And this was like prior. This was the brand prior, where they also kind of launched a very innovative product. It was a very cool whey protein powder, and they also, well, when I say they, like we helped also sell out this product in like 2 3 weeks, and we had like comments on our ads, even though they weren't running. They were like why is it out of stock? When is it coming back in stock? We would get like emails, like the contact us form on the website, like where is this? Like I really want to try it because they're so different and new. We're like, why aren't we collecting these leads? If they really want it and they want to get an update when it's back in stock, let's find something, right? So at the time, browse the Shopify app store, and we found this out of stock form that connected to whatever platform we were using, but collects email, collects SMS, and in the back end, it just collected all this data. And like we had like 1,000 signups, and we're like, wow, this is crazy. Like people actually really want to get notified when this is back. So we got inventory, put the inventory into the Shopify backend, and a text message instantly goes out saying like, hey, the product that you're interested in is back in stock. And similar to Brock's story, it's you just see this like massive spike in revenue, and you're like, holy, like SMS is like the real deal. Cause like for me, at the time, it just felt very spammy, right? It's just you get spam text messages or whatever, phone calls, whatever, you don't want to deal with it. Email is like the king. But this was like next level. Like it performed way better than email. Like we were just like, all right, why even use email at this point, right? So fast forward to Avi, when we wanted to launch the brand, we had a few like connections with some influencers that we sent out the product to, just to start. And we had like kind of you know how you have like the lock screen on your Shopify store before you start. We basically had like a sign up form saying like get sign up to be notified when we're live. And we had a bunch of like not a bunch, but like 2 to 3 influencers that started posting about it. Go to this website, leave your information, and again, just the sign up to be notified, like this small little form is so powerful because like if people care, they're gonna leave your information and they're high intent, right? So get as much information from them as possible, email, phone number. And when we launched that paired with the paid media, that's how we sold out in 2 weeks. So actually utilizing these sign up for notifications was the number one. Two, obviously, your main pop up on your website. If you're able to offer something, having that placement there is so crucial, and A/B testing that as well, right? So before we used to do like 10% off, or enter your number to get 10% off, enter your number to get 15% off. What we ended up landing on was enter your number to get a surprise discount, and that opt-in rate blew everything else out of the water because it's like, oh, what is it? Like there's that it piques your interest. It's not like everybody else who's just offering like a standard discount. And we've always like prioritized getting SMS because that just has the best conversion rate out of any channel, right? Email, especially after the iOS update, like you don't even know how email's performing. Like open rates are so inflated, and you don't know what's really happening there. So we really focused on building up our SMS list because the other thing is that it's very easy to churn out, right? If you have people that are just not clicking or interacting, you already know that data is accurate, so you're gonna just churn them out. But yeah, the pop-ups are crazy for acquisition and constantly testing what that messaging looks like. And then even recently, we're using this app called Fondue, which is for cashback instead of discounts, right? Basically, it allows us to alleviate the pressure of giving too much discount by just giving cash back, because the way that it works is that either people accept the cash back or they don't, right? And that's just how it works. And so I don't know if you guys have heard this model with like Starbucks, right? Like Starbucks isn't a barista, they're a bank, right? And if you have their app, you literally load up the app with cash and you either use it or you don't. And like that's just sitting in Starbucks's bank account. And so that's the way we like to think about it, is that people will either use the gift card or they don't. And that's just it's just better for our P&L. So this is our latest test, right? Unlock 20% off of 20% back. We're still testing it, but that's the whole point. You just gotta A/B test different offers and see how you can increase that opt-in rate, because the more people that funnel in, SMS has the highest conversion rate. So it's just a numbers game at the end of the day.
I love that. And I Love that you also shared sort of a wow moment of really seeing it work. I think as consumers, we can all relate to really wanting something and you see it's out of stock, that disappointment, and then you get alerted. You're going to go and make that purchase right away because, of course, you are, because you waited. You don't want to miss the vote again. And capitalizing on that intent is really, really powerful, and using SMS to learn more about your community. Some really great questions. Keep them coming. We're going to weave these into the Q&A. But speaking of community, for you, Ash, you have a very active Facebook group that you began as soon as you launched Avi. Can you tell us how you're leveraging that audience to acquire new subscribers? Ties in with some of what we've discussed, but I think it's a really compelling story.
Absolutely. So I think I'm a firm believer in you need to have different touch points with your customers, right? They make a purchase, you have their email and or phone number, right? After that purchase, we want to get them into a community, right? So we have them, head to the Facebook group, join there. Then also we want them to download our app, right? So now I have like email, phone, community, app, like 4 different touch points where I can get in touch with my customer. But also at the same time, how can I offer value in all these channels, right? So the biggest thing has been the community for us, where customers can kind of come in, talk to each other, get motivated, find that accountability, right? The main reason somebody's buying from Avi, right, health and wellness, is you have this very personal issue that you're going through, whether it's like hair related, skin related, weight related, whatever it is, you have a personal issue. And the best way to get through that is to have somebody go through it with you. And when Avi customers join that community, they find people just like them going through the same troubles, the same lifestyle issues, and you can kind of lean on each other, right? That was the community we wanted to create, and that's just one of the biggest things, right? Fast forward, it becomes a marketing asset too, right? So when we're running ads and things like that, people are always asking, "Does this really work? Who's tried this, and can I get your opinion?" Right? That's the number one question we always ask. Even though the ad itself is 10 testimonials from customers, you always get that comment like, "Well, does this really work?" Right? So to that, it's like don't ask us. Like you go into the community and find out for yourself, right? Go explore, talk to actual customers. Like there's that authenticity in there that as a brand we can't get that across without you having to talk to a customer, right? So it becomes this marketing asset where people come in there and these are potentially new customers that we may not have any data on, right? So I would say 75% of the people in there are customers, 25% are probably still kind of in there to see if they want to buy, or they're there for the other tips and tricks, because it's not just about the products. But how can we get more data for ourselves and the brand, right? So one of the biggest things is it was that screenshot, is that we run a lot of giveaways in there. And one of the best things that we do is we do a giveaway whenever we do a product launch, right? So one of the best, I think, methods that we did is we showed this like graphic with like a lock on it, and it said unlock the latest product release or find out what it is before anybody else, right? So it was like text Avi to whatever the number, and it would send you a link, and that link was like a private link that would open up the new product, right, and information about the product, and it would give you all the information. And what we would do is, now that you know what it is, go back to the community, write a comment about why you're excited for this product, and you'll be entered for the giveaway, right? But don't reveal what it is. So now you have these people like seeing all these comments of like, "Oh, I'm really excited to try this because of blah blah blah," but nobody knows what the product is. So it like builds this hype within the community, and I like to call this like going viral within our own community. And so like we always try to do that. So you see this like lock, and you're like, "What is this?" All right, let me text, let me like build the hype in the comments, and now everybody else is trying to get on board to find out what this is, because everybody's just excited about whatever this new product is. And so that's how we kind of get phone numbers out of the people that are in the community that may not have, well, that we may not have, their information through email, so through orders, right? And even then people will just buy with their emails. It's like, how do we get their phone numbers too, right? So this is another way to do that. So I think that's been one of our biggest things, is just utilizing the community to just drive list growth, and we'll get thousands of numbers every giveaway. It's insane.
I love the concept of going viral within your own community and creating that hype machine from your biggest fans already, and letting them really do that work for you and help you with that work. And you're tapping in on a lot that your customers want. They don't want to feel alone. They want to have answers. They want to feel like these products have already been validated by someone. So it's awesome that you're leveraging your community that way. And a really good point where you have those active communities, be it social, be it email, you can promote your SMS program to those people. And it is a low cost way typically to get more subscribers. It's easy to do. And a lot of brands are forgetting that they can drive those tech signups from wherever they're interacting with their customers. It's not just about a pop-up or checkout. All right. A hot topic is incentives for signing up for SMS, and incentives in general, to be honest. Would love to hear your all's take on this. Do you need a discount? Do you want to promote exclusivity? You both have themes of exclusivity across your acquisition strategies that we've already seen a little bit. But how do you approach incentivizing those signups? And Brock, I will start with you.
Yeah, so I think it's not necessarily one thing that works, and I think like Ash spoke to, they're testing a lot of different things and seeing, hey, what's got the highest conversion rate. That's kind of how we approach it as well, is going, what do people want? And for us, it actually has not been discounts. For the most part, it has actually been probably our buddy of the week. So we have the ability to basically print on demand. And so every week we'll do a very limited edition, just subscribers, and it'll be only 100, and it's never coming back. And so I kind of implemented this as just kind of like a joke, like 6 months ago, to see how it worked. And then like we sold out of 100. It was insane how fast they sold out. And it was always just like a huge spike on Sundays. And so, that was like something that I was like, okay, let's just turn this into kind of a very subscriber exclusive thing. And even on the first like 3, I actually hit the sold out. I made them sold out way faster than they should have been. And so that way people were like, oh crap, I missed it, because scarcity truly does drive the action. And so, now we just continue to do it every Sunday. And what I like about it is that, one, it's not a discount. It's actually a higher price product than any of our other products. And they pay it because, it is limited. And two, it's just very safe on our end, because I'm not actually making them until after. And then, so people are getting this text, but I don't think it really bothers them that they're getting it, because like it's different every week. They want to know what it is. And if it's not their, forte, then they probably just delete it, but it didn't really disrupt their pattern, I guess, and irritate them like a lot of texts might if you just keep offering them discounts. So, that, in my opinion, is how we get people in, is going, hey, exclusive launches, maybe even exclusive promos if it is like a promo period. But then like just now, we just launched our NFL collection today, of all the teams, and that is subscriber exclusive for 7 days. And so kind of just always making sure to make them the VIP. Like that's my biggest thing, is like, how do we make sure that if I have a subscriber or a Facebook group, like they get more special treatment, so that they, feel a little better. They feel like they're in a separate group, and kind of, they understand that like I see the value that they're bringing Frost Buddy. And so yeah, I don't think we don't really try to use many discounts, as the main incentive, because I think eventually that kind of just goes away. Like I try to bring value in any other way that I can. And those are really the two biggest things for me, is that I have a lot of limited launches. I have a lot of new SKUs coming in, and we have a lot of back in stock as well, because we do sell out of a lot of different SKUs. So kind of for them to get first access is a big win if they're a subscriber, because we do sell out. Like that's the thing, you have to sell out, otherwise it doesn't really work.
Totally. Well, I appreciate the call out to making your customers feel like a VIP on this channel. Ash mentioned create value in all of your channels, and your subscribers were told through all of these acquisition strategies, this is where you can expect drops and exclusivity and new stuff. And so of course those messages, even on a weekly basis, are going to resonate with them, because that's what they came for in the first place. Which is awesome to see that success. And I just love the I love the name and the concept of that program. It's definitely a fun one. Ash, over to you. How does Avi approach incentivizing on SMS?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing here for us is that there's a lot. It's a very competitive market, right? You see an ad for collagen, you're gonna now start seeing tens and 20, the hundreds of other collagens that are doing the same thing. What sets us apart is definitely our flavor system and our formula. But what it really comes down to it is if you can go to Amazon and pick up the cheapest collagen, like that's probably what you're gonna do. So we have to stay competitive on offers, right? Um, one of our like some of our main competitors are doing like buy two get one free, get 33% off and free gifts and this and that. So it's very difficult to find the balance between devaluing your brand and finding an offer that is competitive enough to stand out in the market, right? So like I said before, like we've tested like get 10% off, get 15% off. Um, but the thing is that you start to associate the brand with this number, right? So if you come in, you buy at 15%, you're always going to want to buy at 15% off, right? And so what we ended up doing is to kind of remove that like stigma of like, oh, there's a number associated. Let's go with the surprise discount, right? Because there's you don't necessarily like when you're in checkout and you put in the surprise, customers aren't going to go and calculate it, right? They just see like, oh, I got a discount, and like for us, it's some arbitrary number like 12%, right? And so like that having a higher opt-in rate and like conversion was great. One, it removes that like, oh, I don't really know what discount I'm getting. So the next time I do see a number associated, like say our Black Friday sale, which is like 25% off site wide, you're thinking, oh, this is a great deal because I've never seen that number before, right? So it's just all psychology at the end of the day. So that's one way. And then again, testing the cashback, which on its end is more of a financial play because it adds to your P&L at the end of the day, right? You're discounting a lot less and you're getting people cash back in forms of gift card back to your store, right? So you're technically improving retention, you're technically improving LTV with that play. So that's why I'm okay with showing that 20% number. Um, one other thing is on our landing pages, right, that we're driving from paid is the offer is set on that page, right? We don't want to like confuse anybody. We don't want to like add friction to the experience, right? We don't want so if you get to the landing page, technically if you buy 6 of the products, it's like 40% off. So we say get up to 40% off and up to 3 free gifts, right? So you're like, "Oh, this is a great offer. Let me get down to it." I don't want to show the same pop-up of get 20% cash back or get surprise offer because it doesn't make sense, right? So instead of showing a number or a discount, like we still want to get leads. So what we end up doing is we have a pop-up that says get an ebook for 11 ways to boost collagen, right? You just drop your email, drop your phone number, and that is how we acquire leads on people that are coming in through paid and seeing a different offer than what's on the front end, right? And so that is just very simple. We got an ebook made. As soon as you enter your email, phone number, you get a text for the PDF, and it offers that value that's very related to the product, right? So you're coming in because you want collagen. Well, here's 11 natural ways you can help improve it. And then obviously within that 11 reasons, there's one that says take a collagen supplement. So it's additional, conditioning to like get by Avi, right? And so between those, I think those are the two biggest ways that we get a lot of leads. And then just abandoned cart too. I mean, that's also another one, another entry point for the brand as well.
Totally. I really appreciate those call outs. All of these strategies are thoughtful in regards to not devaluing the brand, not creating friction for consumers, not having confusing competing offers. Like both of you have been very thoughtful about what else do my subscribers want that I could deliver via this channel without negatively impacting the buyer experience, which is super important. A very quick tactical question for you, Ash, while we're on the subject. Are you using an app that's randomizing that discount, or do you just have a number that you've picked that you are leveraging for everyone at a given time and it's kind of hidden behind the scenes?
Yeah, I mean, don't overthink it. It's literally just a static discount. It's literally the discount is called surprise, and it's just that standard 12% off. So it's not like it feels random because it's not 10%, which it's a little bit more easy to calculate, but it's not 10%, but it's not 15. So it seems random and it seems like a surprise. So yeah.
It's great. Also, maybe does do like a little surprise above the 10% that maybe people are used to, the welcome 10,
Exactly.
a little extra
A
bump.
little extra. Yeah.
We love that. All right, there's so many great questions. I'm excited for it. We're going to shift to Q&A soon, but Brock, what are some things that you're thinking about that you want to do more of in 2023 in regards to acquisition or on the channel in general?
Yeah, so for 2023, I mean, I think what I'm always focused on with our team is just really growing the actual lists themselves, because I think we do a pretty good job already of just making sure to provide value and making sure to really put the customer first through the list. So it's really, how can I get more and more people, in that funnel, and how can I get more people in this community? Because we also have a Facebook group that is growing, not near quite as big. I think we have like 15,000 people, but like it is still extremely valuable to have that community. And they're so active, and those are my biggest brand advocates. So I really focus on how can I implement, flows, post-purchase, welcome series to still push people into that group. And then now I'll use the nice giveaway tactic to get their SMS that Ash provided. So yeah, I mean, it's really just all growth and all community, because acquisition costs are just getting higher and higher, and it is more challenging. So any way that I can, use weekly, monthly strategies to just really grow is our biggest thing, because I do think once you have down of how to treat them and how to provide extra value on top, like, you just keep that running. You just keep it going.
For sure. I appreciate the call out that acquisition is getting ever more expensive, and many of these strategies, if not all of these strategies, are very cost efficient. Lots of good learnings for, sounds like, the two of you from each other and our listeners. Awesome. Well, we are nearing the Q&A portion. A lot of questions have come in. Please keep more coming. I'm loving this activity. We will get to as many as we can. But before we shift gears, I want to recap some of the learnings from today, and we'll make sure to send out a summary email after the event as well with these strategies. Back in stock notifications. Transactional messages that are working on email that could work better in SMS. Use those to your advantage to increase your list size. It is high intent people. You're learning information about those subscribers, what they're interested in. Giveaways came up a bunch today. Anyone can do this. It incentivizes signing up without devaluing the brand in any way. Thinking about exclusivity. How can you make SMS really feel like these are your VIPs? They're getting something special, be it the buddy of the week or just anything that is really an SMS subscriber only access point. Leveraging all your channels. We talked email, we talked social. If you have an audience, tap into it. How can you convert them to subscribers? There are a lot of creative ways to do so, but this isn't just about throwing up a pop-up and being done with acquisition. And then teasing out new drops. And we got some fun personal philosophy around sort of competitors and how to think about that. But go big for those big events and those splashy launches. Give access to that information, promote the exclusivity on SMS. It's a really fun way to build that excitement, get your community talking, and get people ready to make the purchase as soon as they see that come through. All right, we're going to throw up a quick poll, and we are going to use the information from this poll to decide what other upcoming content and webinars we can give all of you this year. So the more votes, the better. First question, what are you looking to improve around your current SMS strategy? Lots of good options in here. We've got integrations. There was a couple shout outs to some strong technical partners of ours today, which I love to see. Data collection, making more money, always top of mind for many of us. Not surprising, the list growth audience is excited about list growth. That's awesome. All right, second and final question before we go to the Q&A for these two. What is most important to you in regards to your SMS strategy? Driving more revenue, acquiring more customers, being conversational, a couple of options. All things we care deeply about at Postscript, and we will use these responses to help create content that resonates well with all of you. Awesome. Love this participation. And we are going to move in, once we wrap this one up, to our question and answer part of the day. Ash and Brock, feel free to chime in as we roll out these questions if you're particularly passionate about something. But let's see. I believe we're going to pin some questions, but while we get that set up, I will start with a question on paid media. Oops, I lied. I'm going to start with a question on Facebook communities. Ash, for you, how do you suggest one start a Facebook community from scratch?
Yeah, no, I love this question because it's like always one that we get. It's don't overthink it. What I would suggest is that it depends on how big your brand is. I would suggest waiting until you have around 1,000 customers, before considering it. What I would do is kind of find somebody that's gonna be like the main person that's kind of like to be the face of the community, right? Whether that be you or another co-founder or somebody that you kind of bring on board, have somebody that people just see consistently because that will build that like trust factor. Two, what I would do, and again, it depends on the brand, but I'll give Obvi as an example, is what we ended up doing is prior to launching to like customers, we had a lot of we pre-made posts with a lot of value in it. So we talked about recipes, we talked about routines, we talked about just like just overall health and wellness, like benefits and tips and tricks, so that we had conversation starters when we start to see people kind of come in, right? So have that ready, like have half of it already in the community and have half ready to deploy when people start coming in. And then the biggest thing that we did was we ran a giveaway, right? So we hit email, SMS, and say, hey, we just launched this community. We're running a giveaway in it. So join it now. We're giving whatever away, $500 Avi gift card, whatever it was. I can't remember. And you just see people flood in, right? Join the group, join the group. Keep it public, keep it open, make it easy to access. And people join the giveaway. And then you start to see, oh, like there's other topics in here that we could start talking about. And now that people are in there, like we'll start talking about the other things. And another big tip is that when people join the Facebook community, you can make welcome posts, right? So it literally tags everybody in that post, and you can write a whole blurb of like, hey, everybody, welcome to the Avi community. My name is blah, blah, blah. And you can come to me for any questions. By the way, you know, the resources are here. This is here. This is here. You know, to get started, what did you buy and what are you looking to achieve, right? And then you start seeing all these comments kind of snowball in the group. And now what we ended up seeing at the beginning is that we had to kind of facilitate the conversation, but then after a while it snowballs and now the customers are facilitating the conversation and we're just moderating. So that's one of the biggest things. If you follow me on Twitter, I have like a step-by-step thread in my pinned tweet, so check that out there. At Ashley Melwani on Twitter.
I love that. It is very clear that you're very intentional with your community wherever you're engaging them. And I love the sort of tour guide feel of joining and then really facilitating your community to talk to each other, because that's how it can sustain itself. All right, next question. Social specific. How do you think about converting Instagram followers to SMS subscribers? Almost all of this individual's customers are on Instagram, but connecting them is hard. Brock, I know you're big on TikTok. I don't know off the top of my head your Instagram following.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure my Instagram's shadow banned, honest to God. So I don't know if this is a great one for me, to be honest. We are much more TikTok driven.
Ash, how's your Instagram?
I feel like it'd be the same concept, no, Brock? It'd be like very similar to what you guys are doing on TikTok.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I think in terms of SMS, yeah, I mean, probably pretty similar to what we could do on TikTok. Like, I mean, it helps obviously when you have something that goes a little bit viral. That's always going to help, or any new products is going to help. Or like, let's say my buddy of the week, I could always post a story that like, hey, buddy of the week with like maybe a blurred out question mark or something, like you got like, and then have a subscribe link taking them to a landing page. So like, you know, I think the best way to convert Instagram followers is always going to be this is just my opinion. I think stories, using like sending them to that landing page to subscribe, and really just teasing whatever is subscriber exclusive to them, or maybe it is a discount for you. I think definitely just hammering stories and just get it on a weekly cadence of just like, you know, stories are so short lived and like people forget. So like just keep it coming. And I think you will probably start to see just more and more signups that are coming over from Instagram, or giveaways, like Ash said, would probably be a killer, because I think giveaways are actually more effective on Instagram than even TikTok still.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think just exactly what you said. Stories would be huge. Even if you wanted to do the giveaway as a post, like tag two friends, then click the link in the bio, which is a landing page to a form sign up. Um, I think that's nailed it. Perfect. Like we would do the same thing.
I also just want to underline that Brock called out consistency. I think having a calendar for how often you want to push these things is really important, and something that some of our most successful customers will do with list growth versus one and then forgetting for the next quarter. It's easy. It's easy to do that. All right, Brock, another one for you. How far in advance can you start a pre-sale? The 6-month teaser got people really chatting.
I know it's a weird strategy, isn't it? 6 months out. So, in terms of actually starting the pre-sale, I will be I don't like to do it too far out, because I think, customers get pretty mad. In my experience, at least, I think I have more of a impulse product probably too. So like that also makes them a little more upset, as opposed to if it's a bigger purchase, probably. I'll probably do it anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks out. I'll like start the actual pre-sale. And I actually have used this great app called Purple Dot. I've looked everywhere for this. This app allows people to put in their card, purchase, but they don't get charged until I ship it to them. And so when I found this app and started implementing that, it changed everything, because to the customer, all they want is just for that money to not come out of their bank account yet. But as soon as I hit the button that says fulfill, it just drops all the money in. So like that really increased our pre-order conversions. I mean, I literally will sell out of products, like our new to-go buddy that holds Starbucks and Dunkin' cups. I literally sell out before they even arrive, like fully. And so, typically 4 to 6 weeks though. I don't like to make them wait too long. But I will definitely hype it up in videos for as long as I need to hype it up.
Well, it seems like you have a good hype machine going, which is awesome. Great call out pre-sale and consumers, sort of what they care about. Oops, I had one. All right. This is a great one. How do you care for customers after they purchase? Thinking about ways to increase retention. Definitely a hot topic these days and always.
I know for us, like for supplements, it's a little bit more difficult, right? Because it's like even though they've bought from you, they're not fully sold yet, right? Like they still have to try the product, they still have to see or feel the results of it. So in that time frame, it's very difficult to sell them on something else because they don't even know if it works, right? So it's all about this like post purchase education, like constantly. Like how do you set up your customer to have success with your product? And that's just the way you have to think about it, right? So our post purchase flow on SMS and email is just straight up education. It's like here's what your routine should look like. Even though you're taking this, maybe you can change your diet a little bit by doing this, or make sure you're drinking enough water, or whatever it is, getting exercise in. Also showing the end result a lot, so it motivates them, right? So showing testimonials from other customers that have seen success, so they start to see that and they start to see what it could be like if they start to take this product. Get them into the community, download the app, all this stuff. And then at the right time, which is hopefully when they've almost finished the product, that's when you hit them with the re-up, here's an offer, this and that, and get them to come back and purchase again. But yeah, it's just education and value. It will always outsell some heavy discount right after the main purchase.
Yeah, it's also a nice way to use the SMS channel in general. Give sort of a diversity of messages is another thing that we think a lot about, and that post-purchase education is a great way to do it. Brock, any thoughts on this for you all? Obviously, a different space.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm jealous that you have a supplement, so they can buy the same product over and over again. Because we sell a one size fits all product, so I literally sell the perfect solution that they don't need to buy again. So that's like a huge challenge for us, is going, how do I get them to buy again. And so for me, it's really just our motto here is just like go above and beyond in every possible way. So like starting from the time they get to our site to like I meet with our customer service team every single week, like, and I make sure that they go above and beyond in every way possible, like getting them in our Facebook group. I comment personally 400 times a month in our Facebook group to show the customer that I care. Like, so for us, like we're a very founder face brand, in just me being the face. And so like, it truly is just me showing them that I care. And a lot of our emails, a lot of our SMS are coming from my tone of voice even. And so, and even fulfillment too. Like, so we're looking at once they do purchase, like, how do we make sure that every step of the way is just making sure that we nail the execution of it. And then, yeah, like I do have a very disruptive product though, which I'm fortunate with. Our third largest acquisition channel is just word of mouth based on our post-purchase surveys. And so like people just tell other people, especially if it's a great product. But then if they also just like the brand and like the customer service, like they'll talk about you. Like it's not that hard, but a lot of people, I think, just overlook it because they're so focused on getting them as a customer. But it's like, just keep your customers.
Mm-hmm. Well, consumers want to be excited about a brand and,
Mm-hmm.
Making them feel like they're cared for and they're excited and that's your hype wheel,
Yeah. And be a part of the growth. People, they like to be a part of a company growth.
Oh, it's fun to find something first. Absolutely. Yeah. Awesome. Well, we're running tight on time. One or two more quick ones, probably. What kind of AOV increase strategies do the two of you use? I say a quick one and then throw a big question at the group. Ash, do you want to take that one first?
Yeah, I got two big ones. One is bundling. I think that's just been the biggest thing for us. You buy one, you buy three, buy 6 month supply. Make the offer really, generous on the 6 month, and really, you're basically trying to push the 3 month, right? Another thing that we do is offer value in the form of gifts, right? So, for example, we'll do a shaker cup with the 3 month supply, and then a shaker cup, a funnel, and like a frother with the 6 month supply, right? All these gifts technically cost us like $1 each, but the AOV at a 6 month supply is almost $200, right? So it's very negligible in the grand scheme of things. So bundling, free gifts, those are my two favorite things, and that's, I feel like, if you know Avi, that's what we're known for. And then if you take a look at our website, myavi.com, we have our cart, which is kind of gamified. So you hit a certain tier, you unlock free shipping. You hit another tier, you get another free gift, and then another tier, you hit another free gift, and another tier, you hit another free gift, right? So just incentivizing buy more is buy more, save more, buy more, earn more, and that's been the biggest thing to increase AOV for us.
I love that. Buy more, save more always gets me personally. Brock, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, we don't do quite as much as that. I don't have many free gifts. I definitely have looked into it a little bit, but the only thing that we really do to increase AOVs, we just implemented not too long ago. It's more so just a quantity. I mean, it's essentially a bundle, I guess, quantity discount, but we don't have it as a bundle. Like I just have it underneath our like add to cart. You'll see like buy one, save 8%, buy two, save 10%, buy three, save 12%. And then what that allows me to do is like during a promo period, I might go just buy one, save 10, buy two, save 15, buy three, save 20. And that has really increased ours quite a bit. And then what we do have is we have really easy accessory products that supplement or that complement our like universal. So we have a coffee lid, a protein shaker lid, a cocktail shaker lid. And so like those are like $10 add-ons that we sell so many. And just by literally having in the cart, these products pair well, or these products are trending. And then also on the product page, I'll have like, these are great add-ons as well. So those are really the only two things that we do. We just have a free shipping bar at the top as well. And we did actually test that, and it does increase our AOV by about $6 by just having the free shipping at $60 instead of just free shipping.
Awesome. Well, I love that. We are at time. We've got Frost Buddy gifters in the chat. We've got early Avi followers. People want to collab. Thank you to the audience. So much participation today, which is super fun for me. If you didn't get your question answered, feel free to follow these two on Twitter. Also seems like you may get a comment back if you join their Facebook communities. Their handle in the chat, and I'm sure they would love to hear from other merchants. We've got lots of webinars in the works for the coming year. Sign up for our newsletter to find out about what's coming. And thank you so much for joining today. We will see you next time. And huge thanks to Ash and Brock for all of the knowledge they shared with us. Bye all.
Take care, guys.
Thanks, guys.